Hello and welcome back to In Conversation with Christina. I am so excited to have you guys here for another podcast episode. Now, today's episode is probably one that might surprise you, and I'm going to talk about why I'm not anti-fat loss. So if you've been following me for a while, you might know that obviously I talk a lot about body image, intuitive eating, and really breaking free of diet culture. So you might be thinking, wait, what, Christina? You're saying fat loss, isn't bad? And I want to speak to this because it comes up a lot with clients. And I think there's definitely a way to still pursue health goals and your personal goals that doesn't come from a place of self-rejection or feeling like you need to shrink your body to be worthy. So today's podcast episode is going to unpack what happens when you heal your body image and why fat loss isn't inherently bad, and how you can actually pursue this in a way that isn't just focused about your weight. So let's get into it. Now, I first want to be clear that I am not here to shame people who want to lose weight, right? I get it. We live in a world that constantly tells us that a smaller body is better, it's healthier, and it's more desirable. So it's natural to internalize these messages, right? But what I've seen in my work as an eating disorder dietitian, and even in my own journey as a dietitian, is that this desire for fat loss is really layered. And it's not just usually about the number on the scale. It's actually about what we think that number is going to give us, right? Will losing more weight make you feel more confident? Will it make you feel more loved, more in control? And often with my clients, when we start to really unpack these desires around weight loss, we come to realize that it's not really about its weight itself, right? It's about the feelings that you're chasing. When you heal your relationship with your body, you will naturally find yourself fitting into a body shape and size that isn't necessarily any more or any less than what you need to be in. And when you heal this relationship, weight loss doesn't become this obsession. And we know when that becomes the obsession, you fall into these cycles of shame, frustration, and guilt. So I want to dive into what actually happens when you heal your body image. And I want to talk about this because I truly believe, and I see it with my clients, that it is life-changing, because your relationship with your body, ultimately it's about your relationship to yourself. And healing your body image isn't just about feeling better in your skin, which is amazing, right? And I think everyone deserves to feel confident and feel secure in the way that they look. But healing your body image goes so much deeper, and it honestly transforms the way that you show up in every area of your life. When you do the deep work of shifting your mindset around food, movement, and self-worth, a few really powerful things start to happen. So first of all, you stop seeing your body as a problem that needs to be fixed. Instead of looking in the mirror and immediately pinpointing what you need to change, you actually start appreciating your body for what it does. And you stop chasing unrealistic beauty standards and begin working with your body rather than against it, right? This constant battle to shrink, tone, and sculpt yourself into someone else's idea starts to fade away, right? And you realize that your body isn't this thing that needs to be fixed. It's actually your home and your safe place. Now, the second thing that happens is that you can start to redefine health on your own terms. Now, for so long, health has been this thing where it's chasing a smaller number on the scales, it's cutting out entire food groups, or over-exercising to feel somewhat in control. But when you heal your body image, health becomes about how you feel, how you can respect your body, and how you prioritize your health rather than how you look, right? It also allows you to have energy levels that allows you to live fully. You're able to show up in your career, in your relationships, and go on that spontaneous date. And it also helps to strengthen and support your daily life activities. It helps your digestion. It helps with your mental clarity because you're not thinking about your body all day, and you can actually focus on what you need to get done and thrive in your career, your relationships, your studies. And as a result of this, your health is no longer going to be about restriction. It's actually going to be about abundance, right? And living life to the full and trying to be the healthiest version that you can be from a place of love and acceptance rather than judgment, rejection, and shame. Now, the other thing that happens when you heal your relationship with your body is that you gain freedom, and this is mentally and emotionally. Imagine not waking up every morning and thinking about what you ate yesterday, what you should eat today, and going throughout your day by enjoying a meal without guilt, choosing an outfit without constantly overanalyzing how your body looks in it. Because when food and your body thoughts are no longer taking up 90% of your brain space, you actually get to redirect that energy towards things that actually matter, right? Which is your relationships, your goals, your passions, and ultimately just living your beautiful life. So you start eating nourishing foods because they fuel you, not because you're trying to make up for eating something bad, right? You start to move your body because it feels good, not because you're trying to burn off last night's dessert, right? And your choices then start to come from this place of respect rather than restriction. And I always preface that when you heal your relationship with your body, it doesn't mean that you're never going to have a bad body image day, but it does mean that you will have the tools to navigate those days with compassion instead of spiraling into self-criticism. And that is honestly the real game changer and the transformation that I see with my clients every day. Now, for some people, when they start to look after themselves, their body might change, right? And move into a different shape, size, right? It might become smaller, might become bigger. And then for others, their body might just stay the same, but their relationship to it completely shifts, right? And that is what the real transformation is here. Now, why is this important? Because body image at the end of the day, it is the root of so many struggles with food, movement, and self-worth. And if we don't heal our body image first, any pursuit of fat loss can become this cycle of self-criticism and dissatisfaction. When you start to work on your body image first, you create a foundation where your health goals, whether that's building strength, improving energy, or even changing your body composition, right? It comes from this place of self-respect. And then this is what allows you to step into the healthiest, the happiest, and honestly, the hottest version of yourself, right? Without tying your worth to a number on the scales. Now, how can you actually start to pursue health without making it all about fat loss? So first of all, ask yourself, what are you hoping will change in your life if you lose the weight, right? Can you work on cultivating those feelings now, regardless of your size? Start to focus on behaviors, not outcomes, instead of setting a weight loss goal. Think about habits that will improve your overall health, right? Like eating more whole foods, moving in a way that brings you joy, staying hydrated, managing stress, and getting good quality sleep. The key to this as well is making sure your approach is sustainable, right? Because if any plan feels restrictive, miserable, or makes you obsess over food, it's not the right plan, full stop. Like, I don't care what you say, it is not the right plan for you. The next thing is always check in with your body image, right? Are you making choices from a place of care, or are they coming from a fear of being in a larger body, right? Because body image work isn't a one-time thing, and it is an ongoing practice, and it is so key to work on, because if you don't work on this alongside pursuing your health goals, it's never going to be sustainable, and you will find yourself in situations of potentially binge eating, restriction, and going down that cycle, which can be really tricky and you can get stuck in. Now, I always say to my clients, it is okay if you want to change your body, right? But I also want you to know that you don't need to change anything to be worthy, to be loved, or to live a fulfilling life. You are enough right now as you are. And the more that you step into that truth, the more you will be able to make choices that support your health mentally, emotionally, and physically. Now, at the end of the day, I am not anti-fat loss, right? I am anti-guilt, anti-obsession, anti-restriction, cutting out foods, over pursuing health that is in a place of respect and acceptance for your body, right? I acknowledge that sometimes life happens, right? We might not be moving enough. We might have different life situations where our body changes, right? And we don't feel like we're living in that optimal health that we know we can be in, right? So absolutely making changes that are aligned with your health to then make sure that you feel good in your body is okay, right? And it is allowed. And I'm not sitting here saying that you can't pursue that, but I just want you to pursue it from a place that comes with respect and acceptance for your body. Because if you come from the place where you're trying to get love, acceptance, belonging, all of these things which are core needs as humans, as I said, you are going to find yourself in a tricky place where you find yourself in cycles of restriction, guilt, and binge eating, right? Because at the end of the day, nothing is going to fix your relationship to your body or your relationship deeper to yourself than working on that first. The other thing that always comes up in body image work, right? It's this fear of gaining weight, and it's the fear of ultimately letting yourself go and losing control. Now, one thing that I said previously is that when you truly heal your relationship with your body, you learn how to respect, right? And you learn how to accept your body. When you go through that process and when you also learn how to manage your emotions and regulate your emotions, you will naturally find yourself in a place where you're not eating any more and you're not eating any less than what your body needs, right? And naturally, if we look at the signs, you will fit into the right shape and size that your body needs to be in, right? Body image work, it's not about letting yourself go. It's not about let's just, go and eat all the donuts. Let's just ignore health. Let's not move. Let's not do any of that. When you truly respect your body, sometimes the most appropriate situation when you are respecting your body is probably going to have the salad, right? And probably going to have the protein and the fats and the carbs, right? Because they're important. They're going to fuel our brain. They're going to support our hormones. They're going to make us feel good. However, sometimes the most healthiest response is going to be eating the donut, right? In a moment where you're going out with your friends and you're going to try new pastries, whatever it is, right? That's going to be the healthiest option because mentally you're socializing, mentally it makes you feel good. And also when that's not attached with guilt and shame, you're not putting excessive stress on your body, right? Because when you're constantly stressed about what you're eating, if you're eating too much, should you exercise, all of those things, that is stress on the body, right? So sometimes actually being really obsessive with your health and being so restrictive actually is doing more stress on your body than eating the donut, right? Or eating the pizza out. Now, it's not to swing to extremes, right? The all or nothing mindset is really common in body image work. And, when we talk about recovery and all of those things, right? And it's a mindset of like, I need to eat perfectly, otherwise I'm a failure, or I need to look perfect, otherwise I'm not good enough. And when we fall into those extremes, that's sometimes what can happen when we kind of come into body image work. There might be some resistance, some unknown, because it's like, well, if I do body image work, well then, what's going to stop me? Like, I'm not going to have willpower anymore around food. I'm not going to have the control that I have around the food. And it's actually the opposite because as I said, when you heal your relationship with your body, we're not then going the opposite way and emotionally eating and overeating because, we want to, right? We still respect our bodies and we still find ourselves in a place where we're choosing food out of respect, right? What's going to fuel my body? As a dietitian, I know a lot about nutrition, right? And I'm someone that eats a balanced diet. I eat a lot of whole foods. I love my veggies. I love my protein, right? I love these things. Now, in the same breath, I'm also going to have the croissant if I want to eat a croissant. I'm also going to allow myself to have ice cream every day if I want to have ice cream. Does that make me unhealthy? No. I'm actually the healthiest I've ever been and healthier than I was when I was so restrictive and I was so, focused on eating only whole foods, right? Because when I was doing that, I was eating so much fiber. I was eating literally all whole foods and my body needed more food, right? It needed more food. And so my digestion, I was like bloated all the time because I was just having so much fiber when really my body just needed some sourdough, some bread, right? Some carbs. And some food that was actually, a bit more sustainable and food as well that made me feel good and actually satisfied me mentally and emotionally. The other thing that can come up in body image work and disordered eating and recovery is that you might be eating enough food, like volume-wise, enough food, but you don't feel satisfied from your meals. And in that case, that is because you're not actually eating the food you truly want. A typical example is, say for lunch, you wanted a sandwich, right? A chicken avo cheese sandwich, for example. But in your mind, you're like, nope, I can't have bread, carbs. I'm just going to have chicken, avo, and a salad, right? You eat that and you might bulk up on all the salads and all the fiber. And then afterwards, you're still hungry, right? You're still hungry, but you physically feel full, right? But it's like this hunger that's still there. And you're like, I'm confused. I just ate. I shouldn't be hungry. And then that starts all the thoughts around food, right? In that case, the healthiest option for you was going to eat the sandwich. Because when you truly start to eat the food that you want as well, you start to recognize what makes me feel good, right? What actually satisfies me? Because I can guarantee, even for me, I can have a salad for lunch, but I'm probably going to feel more satisfied if I'm eating some bread, if I'm eating some rice, if I'm eating some sort of carbs than just veggies, right? So that's what I want to talk about when it comes to even healing your body image, right? You start to learn about your body. You start to learn about nutrition. You start to learn what truly feels good for you, not based on food rules, restriction, and guilt, and all of these things that leads no one to have a healthy relationship with themselves. Now, I could talk about this topic for days, but I really hope that you got something from this conversation. and just start to rethink the way that you approach body goals and your health, right? You don't have to choose between loving your body or wanting to care for it, right? You can do both. When you realize that the missing piece to your fat loss journey, your health journey, is actually healing your relationship with your body and yourself, you will naturally fall into the healthiest body, and your mind, your energy, your sleep, all these things are going to be so much better. If you are struggling with your body image, I would love to invite you into my Restore Your Body Image course. Now, this course helps you to heal the root cause of your body struggles so that you can feel truly confident, free, and at home with your body without constantly chasing body goals and weight loss in a way to feel better about yourself, or getting to that size and then still feeling upset in the body that you're in, right? Because you haven't actually done that deeper work. My course, we do the deeper work. I give you the practical tools. I give you the emotional regulation tools to know how to manage emotions, right? Now, if this is for you, I will leave a link down below where you can join this course, and I would love to have you along. If you found this podcast episode helpful, I would love if you would share it on your stories, you would tag me, or even just send me a DM on Christina Mollenhauer on my Instagram. Otherwise, thank you for joining me in today's episode of In Conversation with Christina, and I will see you in next week's episode.